So my hand's still on his shoulder. I'm gonna tighten my grip a little bit. I'm like, maybe don't be so unprepared next time.
Well, gee, probably a great thing if someone had handed me a weapon, you know.
I'm surprised you don't have one of your own.
Okay.
Considering your job.
That's fair. I will hand that one to you. Up above is a little platform where just the most decorated throne and a very wealthy-looking large man is
lovely.
sitting in the seat.
Artemis would probably try to avoid him.
The guys down under really like to nickname the place Halfling City. You can probably find a lot of those around here. The hooded figures that you guys saw before, a little bit of their hood is pointed out. So you can probably like determine that basically elves.
I do not work here, and she tries to bolt for it.
He's like, hey! And he like chases after you, and it's become a very serene moment.
I'm starting to think this is a date.
If I were you, I'd get out of here. This lord of ours, he has a strange thing about halflings.
Do you think he would be upset if I tried to buy you?
If you really want to help me, you help my brother.
Sorry, was this place expensive?
He remembers how much money and he falls to his knees and his hands are planted on the ground. He's like,
Oh my god.
I come from a kingdom that is like filled with halflings, and the queen is also a halfling.
You want to make me free? I feel kind of bad. There's kids down there.
Look, I can only save you two today, but I'll definitely come back when I have the funds.
It's like, hey, Artemis!
Oh my god. Did you fucking drink again?
Hawk kind of like leans down. It's like, you know, it's kind of cruel to give them false hope like that. He blatantly ignores Artemis.
Yeah, you too.
Oh my god.
And then looks to Delta. Is like, you better come back here. You still need to pay me for the next ride.
And she's actually trying to make herself presentable.
Is she gonna get the twigs out of her hair?
Yes, she is.
You guys go through the main entrance, and guards are posted up, like very diligently scanning the crowds of people coming and leaving. And they zero in on Artemis. And they're like, hey, you're that girl.
I get between them, like, hold on. This one's with me.
They kind of look between the two of you. They hold out their hands, like, and your papers.
Papers?
My papers are... I, like, start patting around, pretending. Like, oh, my papers. Shoot, I forgot them in the carriage.
Roll for deception.
Oh god, it's a -1.
Oh no.
Oh, that's an 11.
You kind of, like, shimmy with your words and, like, kind of try to make it sound believable. One of the guards is kind of, like, not really buying it, but the other's like, psh, been there. Come on in.
Thank you.
and they let them through. But he does hand Artemis a pin, and like secures it to her dress, and it's just like a black circular pin.
I don't trust this, but okay.
Remember to keep that thing on, okay? He says to Delta.
I nod. Thank you.
Artemis is like grumbling to herself.
I pat her head and I'm like, okay, so where are we going?
So, you know, this may end badly, but I need to try to see if the king is willing for me to, you know, pay him for 2 of his servants. So...
You did not say anything about this sooner.
Yes, I did, but you were drunk, you silly goose. Yeah.
Delta's just gonna be like, you did.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you are so cute. But this is not the time. Can I have perception of, I guess, the room we're in? It is a 13.
As you look around, you notice that it is the same luxurious place you knew before. Looking up, the lord of the castle was still there, and he was currently speaking with a few halflings himself. And he was being served like fizzly drinks and accompanied by a cloaked figure, similar to the ones you saw in that group before.
Lovely. Wonderful.
That's concerning.
Artemis like briefly tells Delta like what she saw earlier with like the secret door and the knock, just briefly enough to, you know, let them know. And it's very obvious she's very nervous to talk to this king. Okay.
I nod and I'm like, all right.
Ahead of you is like a long stretch of hallway. And at the very end are stairs, but posted on every hall like segment is a guard and a few halflings going up and down the stairs.
I'm gonna turn to Artemis and I'm like, okay, do you think I could float us both of us up to the king?
I don't know if that will go very well.
True.
You know, we could attempt to ask a guard if we could speak with the king. I don't know how well that would work, but your plan is a very good idea for if that doesn't work.
I snap my finger, and it sounds like skipping stone. I snap my finger. I'm like, you know what? I could just say that you're to be sold.
No!
Hold on. I know it's fucked up, but it will definitely catch their attention and probably bring us much closer.
Oh god.
I won't let that happen. I promise.
Can Artemis like hand them her money pouch?
Yeah.
So she does that. She was like, okay, if that's the case, you're gonna need this gold, because if I try to pay for she says the two halflings' names from earlier. If we are going to try to bribe him, he's probably not going to take it well if I ask him, so I'm gonna let you have this pouch.
Yes, she nods.
Alright, let's try your plan, I guess. Obviously very nervous and doesn't like this at all.
Delta is going to go over to a guard that is somewhat closest to the king, or like stairs-wise, is going to ask about if it's possible to speak to the king currently.
You make it to the stairs, like the bottom of the stairs, before the guards stop you. Halt! What are you doing here? What is your business?
I would like to request an audience with the king, as I gesture to Artemis. I have a halfling here.
Oh, a delivery. They just let you in.
She just mutters to herself, this is not a good idea.
I mutter back because I heard that. I'm like, well, it's the best one we currently have. And then I nod my head to the guard and start walking up with Artemis.
The king looks over the two of you, and he knows that the guards only allow the authorized people, so he just kind of trusts that they're the right ones. Ah, so this must be my newest collection.
I'm gonna fucking die.
Delta is going to do a little bow. Actually, I have come here to request to buy 2 of specific halflings.
He looks taken aback and is like, oh. He looks around at the halflings in the room and is like, surely not these, right? And they are not the ones you're talking about. They are his personal halflings.
I gently shake my head. No, I'm looking for Fallon and Click.
Those two? Because he just can't fathom someone wanting those two. Are you sure? We have a far more robust selection.
Oh no, I'm very certain.
Very well then. I suppose they go for 2 gold each, if I remember correctly.
I nod and offer gold.
He takes the money and he snaps his fingers and has his halflings go and get the other two. He gestures to the two to sit down, like, please, make yourselves comfortable.
I shake my head. No, I appreciate though, and I appreciate this exchange.
Oh no.
The king is just like put aback, like
Artemis is like looking at her, like, are you fucking serious? That's the look she's giving you right now.
Delta is like, it's, you would imagine it's not sweat, but she's fucking sweating slightly. Like, it's, to Artemis it's very obvious, like she's very tense, but like to anyone else, she looks kind of aloof.
No, I insist you sit down.
Artemis like gives her a look. The look is basically like, you better sit down.
I pat Artemis's head and I was like, well, fine. And then I sit down.
And Artemis does the same.
The king looks far more pleased, though a little frustrated, and starts pouring them both like cups of wine. See, I take good care of my clients.
I stare at the wine. I'm like, oh, I stopped drinking a while ago.
The king is just like grinding his teeth.
My apologies, I don't mean any disrespect. And I handed both of them to Artemis.
Oh god. Like in her brain, she's like panicking. She's like, oh god, I should have like went over like royal etiquette before we came here.
The king is giving Artemis weird looks like, what? Why do you waste perfectly good wine on a servant like her?
She may be under me, but in my eyes, we are the same.
Oh god.
The king is like, he's like, this is a strange, noble trend. Well, fine, he suppose. And he just like, kind of just tries to like put it aside. Roll for charisma.
Oh god.
No.
17.
Miraculously, you manage to save yourself from his wrath, as he kind of chalks all of this up to just like the young nobles having fun with their pets kind of thing.
Oh my god.
Wonderful.
Oh god.
And it's like, well, I'll never understand the youth. But soon, the two that you guys have requested finally enter the room. And Click and Fallon are like really nervous and shifting on their feet. Like, here they are.
I glance at them and I'm like, oh, hello, pleasure to meet you.
The two are just like subtly trying to be like, no, don't talk to us.
I want to give them something and thanks.
No.
But I have nothing to give. That would be acceptable.
Just don't.
I don't know what to do here.
Artemis is just like looking at you, kind of like tapping her foot, just like, come on, hurry this up, we gotta go.
I notice, I'm like, oh, okay. I look back at the king, like, thank you. I believe the trade is over. The exchange.
Very strange. He nods his head, like, fare thee well, I suppose.
I stand up and bow and wave the two over as I start walking.
The two manage to like walk over and are kind of just like, they're kind of like scared, like, oh no, this isn't gonna be good.
I make sure I have the two walk in front of me and Artemis beside me. Once we're out, I let out a fucking huge relief of sigh, like, holy fucking shit! What the fuck? You didn't tell me! I don't know anything about this shit! How the fuck did I do that?
Artemis, like, pats her, and she was like, I am so sorry, I forgot, not everyone knows royal etiquette, that's my bad, but you did great! I do need my coin pouch back, though.
Yeah, right. I hand the coin pouch back.
Alright, let's get out of here, like, fast, right now. she guides the two that she just bought their freedom back to the carriage as well. That went better than expected.
Yeah.
It really did, yeah.
Not expecting that at all.
I was not. I was waiting for something terrible to happen.
Yeah, me too. I was waiting for the king to get pissed off and then like fucking slaughter us.
So you guys make it back. Fabian is waiting, and he's like surprised, but also like relieved in a way. It's like, oh, you guys made it. I'm not gonna lie, I thought you guys were goners.
We thought the same fucking thing.
It's also like it looks very relieved, but also a little bit worried. I'm like, yeah, I don't know anything about etiquette, and I almost fucked it up.
Okay, you need to work on something. It's called common sense.
Listen, I didn't grow up around people, and what I did is
Fabian's kind of like awkwardly like patting their arm, like they're there, and it makes a really weird water slapping sound.
And she's like, oh no, it's fine. I definitely need to work on socializing. And she looks very concerned when she says socializing. And she's like, never mind. I don't think I'll try socializing anymore.
Artemis looks to you and she was like, oh well, you did really good under pressure. I can definitely help you out after we leave this fucking place.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay, she looks to the other two.
They don't have too much to say, but they're looking at each other and they're hugging each other. And they're like, oh, thank goodness. Oh, I'm so happy to be free again. And they're just like celebrating their newfound freedom. Wait, but now what? We don't have a home. Or any money.
Yeah. Artemis goes over to the other cab driver and asked them how much a ride would be to
the kingdom she's from,
or somewhere nearby. Mm-hmm.
They say 5 silver pieces each.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna pay for their ride there. So I'm just gonna take 1 gold out of my thingy. That good? So I give them that, and I'm gonna go ahead and just give them my other 6 silver pieces, and I'll give them like 1 gold, and hopefully that will be good.
They are super thankful for you, and they are like, how can we ever repay you?
You don't need to, but when you do get to the kingdom, ask to speak with the queen and tell them Artemis sent you, okay?
They nod really quickly, though they're not quite sure how a monarch would know a commoner. They try not to question it, and they just go along with it.
Okay, and she sends them on their way, very content with her decisions.
Fabian is just like, is no one going to tell me what's going on? Who the heck were they?
Do you not remember anything that I told you before we left?
Sorry, man. All I heard was yappa yappa yappa.
Oh my god.
Just, okay. Okay, before we leave here, is there like any odd jobs that we could take to get some extra cash, especially for Delta, because they're broke?
Yep.
Well, there was a guild. You can ask around for some jobs, like restaurants and things like that. There is farmland that you guys can try doing manual labor.
Delta's fine with manual labor, honestly.
Okay.
Hold on. I look at Fabian and I'm like, do you plan on sticking around or anything?
He thinks about it and then crosses his legs, leaning, or like he crosses one foot over the other while leaning back against the carriage, and crosses his arms, and he's thinking like, you guys are gonna pay me anyway, so might as well stay here. And he kind of like, he reaches into the carriage and like rolls out like a sleeping bag like thing.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
And sets it up inside the carriage.
Beautiful.
Do you have a specific place you want to start?
Probably the farmland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. You both end up going to the farm, and you see one of the farmers is out in the field tilling the land. A dog is like running around chasing after the crows that are trying to eat the seeds. Before it like suddenly stops and looks towards you guys and runs over to try to like find where the scent of wolf is.
Delta, are you gonna take the reins, or you want me to?
No, you can. You're good.
Okay. Artemis is not good at talking to people, but she will try her best. So she calls out to the man tilling the field, and she says, excuse me, do you have any jobs that we could do for some money?
The farmer kind of like stares at them, like squinting before like taking their hat off, and is like, jobs, huh? And they look around the field. It's like, you guys capture whatever mice are trying to eat my plants. I'll give you some copper coins.
Guess that is better than nothing. she looks to Delta. Like, are you
Delta nods. I mean, Delta is like, I mean, we've got nothing else better to do. So.
I guess so.
Unless you want to join the guild.
No, I don't.
No, it's 20 coins per half an hour.
Half an hour. I meant half an
It's
hour.
40,
Yeah.
40 an hour.
Okay. I'd say
There's a lot of mice in the field.
honestly, probably a couple hours.
You guys do it for a long time. Like 2 hours and a half is a long while.
Mm-hmm.
And the farmer is very pleased with your work and hands you the money.
Yay!
But he hands it to you in copper coins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, he did say he was going to pay us with copper coins, so...
He didn't
Yeah.
expect you guys to spend that long. So he dumped all the copper coins he had. Well, I think that's all the work we got now.
I nod. I'm like, I appreciate it. Thank you.
He tips his hat back at you.
Good luck with the mouse. And then I walk away while looking at Artemis. Like, that was actually quite relaxing. I enjoyed that.
And an explosion behind Nookin.
Oh my god. No.
Artemis is, like... She looks pretty rough right now. Like, she's used to working outside, but not for that long. So she looks pretty pissed.
Delta's like, and like, sorry, I didn't realize it's been a while.
That's alright. We need the money anyway. Let's just get back, cause I am about to collapse.
You know, that's fair. Do you think... Never mind. She blushes a bit.
Artemis, like, looks to her and she's like, what?
No, nothing. And she, like, starts walking a bit faster.
Artemis follows
So, like-
her and, like, grabs her wrist. And she's like, no, seriously, tell me, or I will bite you.
Damn, okay, fine. I was just thinking if Fabian would let us sleep in his carriage, just so that's a bit cheaper. Because I'd assume it'd be expensive to sleep in the inn.
I mean, you can definitely ask. He doesn't like me, so I'll probably sleep outside with my wolf pup, but, you know, I've done that before, so that's fine.
I mean, I don't mind sleeping outside. I actually quite prefer it.
She just shrugs and she was like, well, you know, if you're too embarrassed to ask, I can ask him for you when we get there.
No, it was just a thought. She blushes a bit more.
Artemis just laughs at her and she was like, come on, let's go. I'm tired. Just drags you along.
Fabian is already just snoring away inside the carriage in his little bedroll.
Artemis checks on her puppy. How much room is in the carriage?
There is enough room for 3 people.
Okay.
Like 1 on the floor and 2 on the opposite couches.
And where is he sleeping?
He is sleeping dead center on the floor.
Of course he is. Okay. Artemis is probably going to sleep outside because she can't stand him snoring. But she tells Delta, yeah, you can just lay on one of the couches. I'm gonna sleep out here with little Nugget, okay?
Are you sure about that? I don't think it'd be particularly safe.
I can sleep on top of the carriage.
Yeah, okay. She pulls out the brochure mimic. I need you to protect Artemis on top, if that's okay.
Roll charisma.
It's a 1.
Oh, you try to convey this to the mimic, but it's having a hard time with your common, with your language. So it's just it stays as a brochure and doesn't move.
Artemis, just looks to her and she's like, seriously, it's okay. I've slept outside before and I have Wolfie and we're gonna be on top of the carriage anyway, so I think I will be fine. Okay.
I pet the mimic and I'm like, okay, I will teach you English. Not English, whatever fucking language you're speaking properly.
Common. Yeah.
Common. And then Delta crawls into the carriage carefully not to step on Fabian. Then lays down on one of the couches. With the mimic close to her head.
Alright.
Very nice.
Can Artemis climb to the top of the carriage?
A roll for dexterity.
Woo! Oh fuck! I called it. It's a. I thought it was a 1, but it's a 7. But it's a +3, so it's 10.
You try to climb the side of the carriage, from the driver's seat, and you do make it to the top, but you manage to slip and bang your face against the roof of the carriage.
She's like,
and take 1 damage.
Ah, fuck. You just hear her curse, and then she's like, I'm fine!
Just a song.
It's fine, I'm fine! And she crawls on top.
As the morning rises on a new day, they are awakened by the sound of crows cawing outside in the trees and swooping around. The puppy is a little spooked, but it's kind of normal for it. So it's just pressing as hard as it can against Artemis. The mimic, on the other hand, quite the opposite. It has managed to skitter its way outside of the carriage.
Oh god.
And unfold itself all the way. And is waiting for one of the crows to land on top of it.
Oh
my god.
Fabian is still snoring away. It's not too loud, but you can definitely hear it, and he's just drooling into his bedroll.
Artemis.
Wait, did you say it was a long rest or a short rest?
It was a long rest.
Okay, thank you.
Artemis gets down from her place on top of the carriage. Do I have to roll to get down?
Yes, roll again.
For which one again?
Dexterity.
Okay. Oh no, it's a 9.
So you try to get down. You bang your face again on the roof, before slipping and falling off, you take another point of damage.
Fucking. You just hear her cuss again. She's like, fucking shit. She just lays on the floor for a minute.
Delta is probably just waking up and heard the fucking thump. And I was like, and then like she like pops out. It was like, is everything okay?
She just sees Artemis on the floor. She's like, yeah, I'm fine.
Oh.
I'm just taking a minute.
She goes over to help Artemis.
Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, okay. She held back her tongue as she helps her up.
She's like, how was it sleeping next to Prince Charming over there?
No. It was fine. It sounded like a bear sleeping, which was very comforting.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you are comforted by loud-ass snoring.
I grew up in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. And she thinks like that was my past life. Hold on. No, was it? And she like stands there confused.
Artemis just like pats her arm. She's like, don't think too hard. You'll hurt yourself.
No. I am trying to remember correctly. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. What time of day is it?
It is late morning. So
which is
it's like almost high noon.
She's like, so do you want to try poking the bear, or do you want me to?
Why are we poking the bear?
She points to the man sleeping in the carriage. She's
like, oh, I don't think we should poke the bear.
We need to poke the bear because we need to leave, remember? Unless you want to get another job while he's sleeping.
I mean, I glance up at the sky, and seeing how, like, the sun's at the middle of the day, like, where would we even go, though?
There's that, restaurant or the fashion store, I guess.
What's the point of changing? She looks down. It's a very drabby outfit. It's just like a very old looking cloak and like very basic looking chainmail, very basic shirt, very basic like very everything's basic.
I mean, that's not what I was implying, but you could definitely use some new clothes. If we have the money for it.
Delta, like, thinks about it. I'm like, we've been spending a lot, so I don't think it'd be necessary.
Does it hurt to, like, window shop? You know? We could just go look. We don't have to buy anything.
If you would like to look, I suppose we can.
Wonderful!
Delta lets Artemis lead the way.
I guess I leave Wolfie with, the snoring man while we go shopping, just so if he wakes up, he knows, hey, we're gonna be back.
You guys end up going to this tailor shop, right? As you open the glass doors, a little bell chimes as you enter. A shrill voice comes from the back of the room. I'm coming! Just one moment, please.
Oh my god, yes.
And out comes a very, like, thin woman, and she looks very pale. Her hair is tied back a little bit. A little part of it is braided in.
I like her.
Welcome to the Cat's Cradle. What can I help you with?
We're just looking around, seeing if we could get my friend some new clothes.
I still don't see the issue with my clothing.
You know, we're just looking.
And she's like, honey, I think your friend here is very correct. I must say, she at least has taste. You, on the other hand, you might need a little more help from a guiding hand like mine.
I don't know about that.
And she, like, comes from around the bar and, like, ushers you both into the back where there are rows upon rows of clothing racks
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
and
God.
other such supplies in little displays in the middle, and mannequins strewn about wearing the latest fashion. And thankfully, they even have halfling sizes, of course.
I think the most helpful thing is traveler's clothes, at least for Delta, because that's only 2 gold pieces. Artemis looks to Delta and she's like, do you want me to buy you these?
Delta is already very overwhelmed by the amount of clothing, and looking at the prices, she's like, oh my god, why are they so much? Like, kind of expression.
Artemis just pays for these new clothes for her friend.
Wait, no, you don't have to give me anything. I thought we were just looking.
Okay, I'm saying this very nicely, but you look, I don't know how you fooled that king earlier. How about we'll say that?
What? I mean, they're fine. They keep me warm. If you look closely, they have been worn for several years, and they're they're pretty thin.
Mm-hmm. Artemis just like takes out the 2 gold pieces from her wallet and gives it to the lady.
Before giving you guys the clothes, she looks over Delta. No.
Oh my God.
We simply cannot just give you any traveler's clothes.
Oh my god.
Surely you want something that fits properly.
Artemis steps in. She was like, okay, is this gonna cost any more? Because we're kind of already riding on our coattails right now.
Oh dear, no. You have already paid for the service.
Okay.
Madam Pom-Pom might as well help you with this, at the very least.
Okay.
And she starts looking through the clothes and tape measuring, like up and down Delta, just making sure, and then like really quickly tailoring some of the clothes before handing it back to them. Here we are, finally! Something more presentable. She kind of insists on taking Delta's old clothes. Please let this come to rest.
Delta like looks at the clothes like, but they're okay.
The moment that she was given the go-ahead, she immediately just like from 0 to 100 throws it into the fireplace.
Oh god.
Delta is horrified. One, because holy fuck, there's fire. 2, oh my god, she threw my old
It breaks.
clothes into the fire.
Artemis like pats
Delta
her.
like to not so Delta doesn't have a fucking panic attack. She immediately turns around and like is like her breathing's quote unquote breathing is unstable, and she's like, okay.
Artemis like she says thank you and like takes Delta out of the shop.
Yep, thank you.
Madam Pom-Pom is just like waving with her like fingers like toodaloo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I love this woman.
Artemis like looks to Delta. She's like, "Hey, are you okay?"
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. She looks a little bit shaken up.
Are you scared that there was fire in there? Or...
No, I'm not scared of fire. Just surprised.
Okay. Artemis just like, you know, notice that she's scared, but ignores it for the time being. She was like, well, think of the bright side. Prince Charming might think you look extra pretty today.
She blushes like, hold on, that's not why. And then she like looks away and puts her hand on her mouth. But it's still fucking obvious that she's blushing.
Artemis pats her arm, I suppose, and she's like, "Come on, let's go ahead and wake up Prince Charming, cause we need to go ahead and get going."
All right. Thank you. By the way, let's go.
By now, Fabian had awoken, and was basically rolling up his bedroll to put away in the compartment again, and is alerted by your presence by the wolf pup barking at you guys as you come closer. Nugget decides, no, yeah, I miss my mom, and then jumps off the carriage and runs towards Artemis.
Yes, my baby, I missed you. And she just like hugs her puppy.
And Fabian like glances over his shoulder and it does like a double take. Like and he like blinks a couple times like, did you?
Nope, nothing's changed.
Yeah, he doesn't want to admit that he likes her clothes, so he's just like trying to act oblivious. It's like, oh, cool.
Artemis butts in. She's like, doesn't she look so pretty?
Hey, no, nothing's changed. Don't bring it up.
I was like, I don't know. They look as they always look.
Sure. Are you ready to go?
He just like hops into the driver's seat without another word. The mimic flutters up and starts skittering towards Delta.
Delta picks up the mimic and is like, so, I hope you ate well.
It like folds up a bit, and as it folds up, there's a stray like crow feather coming out of it.
Oh my god. Delta's like, oh, cool. I'm just gonna put you. Oh wait, I don't have a pocket there. And then she was like, I'll just hold on to you for a while. You figure out these clothes, and then she just like goes into a carriage.
The carriage doesn't move until it like lurches forward, and you guys are starting off on the road again.
Yay! Hopefully we didn't miss anything important.
Hopefully not.
Because we only visited like 2 places.
You guys are on the road again, and it was a while until the next stop. And the next stop happened to be the middle of the woods in a clearing where the path became wider, and it looks like a resting spot. Fabian gets off the carriage and ties the horses down before stretching out and like smacking the side of the carriage like, hey, wake up. He doesn't know if you guys are asleep or not. He's just in general, get out.
Delta was figuring out her outfit, so she picked up the mimic and was like, all right, let's go.
Artemis follows her.
Fabian is heading down towards a trail with his water skin in hand. He looks back to you two and is like, I know a good spot for water.
Sounds
Delta lights
great.
up. Water?
He kind of snorts, like, of course you want that.
I mean, I'm made of water, and I gotta be prepared.
Artemis follows and just kind of like rolls her eyes, but is enjoying watching these two dance around each other.
Oh my god.
Fabian leads them down the trail. It's a little bit of a hike, but they finally made it to a lake. And it's not just any normal lake. It is crystal clear. You can basically see the bottom. And he fills it up, his water skin.
Delta, without hesitation, takes off the cloak and then everything except the shirt and probably her pants. And then just fucking dips into the water.
The water is very crisp and it's a relaxant for sure.
Artemis just fills up her little water skin if she hasn't had water in there already. She just sits on the side.
Delta looks kind of invisible, but you only know where she is because of the clothing.
As you're, swimming around, you also realize that it's pretty quiet. Almost way too quiet. There's no birds, and you don't see any fish in the water.
That's not good.
Can Delta do a perception roll to see... Oh, That's a 6.
The only thought you can think of is like maybe it's a protected area and there's no animals allowed in here.
Could Artemis like look at her puppy and see if he's doing all right?
Sure. The dog doesn't seem to be having any problems. It's just licking up the water from the lake. Fabian looks over the water and thinks back like, when was the last time I went swimming? And kind of like watching the pair of clothes going through the water. Why not? And he takes his shirt off and decides to hop right in.
Artemis avoids looking at this man.
If anyone were to see, he's worked hard enough to like have gained muscle and scars littered all over his body.
I love this man.
Artemis is so happy for you right now.
Delta doesn't notice, but when she does, it's the clothes look startled. I was like, oh shit, and then she pops her head up. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize you were joining.
In the water, his hair, while it glowed, like out of water, it glowed much more in the water.
Oh my god, yes.
And when he popped back up, he pulled his hair back a bit more.
The fan
He's like,
service.
I don't know. When was the last time I swam? Been a really long time. And he's kind of like mumbling this because he's like kind of embarrassed.
Delta's like, oh, yeah, no, I get it. I don't swim often. I try to swim whenever I see like a pool of water that's, pretty big.
Yeah, right. As if you're not just one big water puddle. And then he like splashes them.
Oh my god. Delta splashes back like, hey, I may be a pool of water, but I can enjoy other types of water.
He's splashing back. He's like, that doesn't even make sense.
She splashes back like, yes, I gotta refresh. I gotta change out my water once in a while. I'm like a fish tank, okay?
Artemis is just sitting there, feeling like the worst third wheel in her entire life. But she's happy that Delta's enjoying herself.
As they're just like hanging out, having fun. Soon, some stormy clouds begin to cover over the sunny sky, and Fabian like kind of shivers from the cold. Is like, all right, I think it's about time I got out.
That's fair. It has gotten a little bit chilly, but give me like another minute, I'll be out.
Yeah, okay. And he like kind of trudges out of the water, and slowly realizes he doesn't really have a towel. So he kind of like opts to like just air dry.
You know what? Delta will use shape water to get the water off of him.
The feeling of the water like coming off of him was like really strange, but he didn't seem to dislike it, but he was like surprised. He was like, thanks.
Yeah, Delta's like, sorry, I should have said something, but I'd assume you didn't have a towel.
His face goes beet red, and he's like, something like that, and then he like leaves.
Artemis just laughs and watches him leave, and she looks back to Delta, and she was like, well, did you enjoy yourself?
Delta has her mouth underwater and like staring at Artemis like, it's very noticeable. She's blushing a bit. Like, yes, I had a great time. I haven't had that in a long time.
I guess I'm just gonna sit here and watch you splash around until you're ready to go.
That's fair. And she just spends a couple more minutes in before walking out, using the water thing to get the water off of her clothes.
Artemis just looks to Delta and she's like, are you ready to head back up?
Delta nods as she puts her stuff back on.
Wonderful. She starts to tease Delta about the shirtless situation.
Oh my god. Delta, would, you know how, a tall person puts the short person's head down? Basically does that to Artemis. Just gently, playfully pushes their head down.
Oh, okay.
Well, while Delta's, blushing and, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're really bad at lying.
No, I'm good at lying.
So you meant you're lying.
I'm not lying. I never said I was lying.
You are so precious.
Listen, okay? I'm a good liar.
Mhm.
I know how to socialize.
Yes, I totally believe that. She just pats her and she was like, I'm just teasing you. It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And then she keeps walking, or she starts walking.
As you guys make it back to the carriage area, you see a still shirtless Fabian. He's trying to ruffle his fingers through his hair, and he is currently smoking another cigarette. And he only looks up by the time he got his hair tied up, and pulled the cigarette from his mouth. Oh, you guys are back.
Delta glances away out of surprise and is pretending to be talking about the fucking trees or some bullshit like that.
This is wonderful to watch. And
So funny.
Artemis actually mutters that to herself.
Hawk is you're disgusting.
Delta, do you want to do anything? Because I keep failing my fucking perception checks, so I'm just...
Yeah, okay.
I just can't anymore.
While Delta's looking around, she's gonna check just in case.
This is physically
that's an
painful
11.
for me.
You get kind of a somewhat ominous feeling. You're not quite sure where it's from or what it's coming from, but you know that something is definitely strange here.
I immediately perk up at that feeling, oh, that's not good. And I think I start to question how long that feeling must have been, because I start glancing around the tree line.
Glancing around the forest line, you don't really see much. Just some boulders and bushes and trees. Until there are no more boulders.
There's no more boulders, just in a flash.
Well, that's concerning. We should probably go.
Artemis looks to her confused, why is that? Because she has no idea what's going on. 0 brain cells are working for her right now.
Oh my god. Delta just starts shooing her to the carriage.
Oh, okay.
We shouldn't worry about it, but if it, it's just some boulders that went missing all of a sudden,
Oh.
totally normal stuff. We should get out of here.
That doesn't sound good. Okay, she calls, Wolfie, back into the carriage. She looks to the man, she's like, Delta thinks it's probably best if we, leave right now.
Fabian is not quite sure what's happening, so he's kind of slow on the uptake. But he does manage to at least get his his shirt on.
Glad I don't have to see that anymore.
Did you see something?
Yeah. I also got weird vibes, so.
He kind of shrugs, never run into problems here before.
Well, she said that, boulders just disappeared.
Boulders disappeared?
Yeah, just blink, and they're gone.
Yeah. It was weird. Let's just go.
Anyway, he kind of sidles up onto the seat and waits for them to get properly in the carriage before starting it. And as they're going down the road, it's still very silent until in the distance they hear dum dum, and it gets louder and louder, and it's starting to sound less thumping and more heavy running. You look out the window, and behind you are 3 bears.
Okay.
I also look out the window.
You also see the brown bears.
I immediately yell. I'm like, we got 3 fucking bears chasing us.
Is bears normal?